Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, but also how we're going to fix it together. And the content that I'm about to show you, oh man, JD Vance, the second in command to Trump and the Trump-Vance ticket, he just went into the lion's den on CNN and destroyed Dana Bash, the anchor who's trying to provide cover for Tim Walz and his Stolen Valor thing and inadvertently providing cover for Kamala Harris and her campaign. This is how you do this. I'm going to walk you through the entire thing, but I want you to listen to the propaganda and the cover that you are having to endure just so we can support our freedoms. Now, of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and I would appreciate it so much because we are always looking to spread freedom to and fro. And with that said, let's get into it because this, beautiful people, this is how you do this. Be honest, this is how you do it. So you guys are familiar with Tim Walz. He's the VP guy. Okay, fine. He's the VP of a Democratic ticket. Who really cares? Well, there's a few little problems. Like this right here. Is Tim Walz guilty of stolen valor? Okay, so this is a thing. Let's go over to Fox News. That was the Wall Street Journal. Harris campaign walks back Walz's bio amid stolen valor controversy as questions swirl. Because again, this is all about stolen valor. This is if you're dishonest enough to claim you were in a war zone and then use it to take our gun rights away, that's a bit of a problem. All right. Now, let me jump over to something that more and more is coming out. This is a clip of Tim Walz when he was a representative saying that he understands the concerns of PTSD because when he was coming back from the theater. Okay, well, listen to this. Then I'll show you the culmination of this video with JD Vance and CNN. This is an important piece, though.
And both of you, with your keen understanding of how this works, especially from National Guard families, I can tell you this, having been one of those that came back, we were in support of OEF, but being sitting in there with OIF veterans, when we came back, they showed us the horse whisperer and told us to be nice when we went home. And that was the extent of it. That was in 2004. Now, I'm proud to say that because of the people's...
Okay, so what he's basically saying is he got some preventative PTSD treatment because he was in war. That's effectively what he's saying, right? All right, that's the whole controversy in a nutshell. The tempest in a bottle, if you will. Now, what I'm about to show you is JD Vance doing a couple things, and this is really important to understand while we're going into this. He refutes the claims of Dana Bash, CNN, who are covering for Tim Walz and the Harris campaign. He states the points in clear, easy-to-clip, concise little points, and he avoids the pitfalls of becoming, honestly, coming across as an ass. All right, listen to this. This is really important. This is a 3-minute video. We're going to walk through it in bits and pieces, but I want to show you some of these things because this is a rather important piece to this.
And on the question of when he left the National Guard, he filed his election paperwork February 10th, 2005. That was a month before the National Guard even announced that it was possible that they would deploy to Iraq, and it ended up being 2 months. He retired 2 months before they actually got the paperwork.
But on CNN last night, Dana, one of the people who was actually in charge of him said they knew they were going to deploy to Iraq in February of 2004, fall of 2004. So he knew he was going to Iraq. He decided to quit, to retire, whatever word you want to use,
Retire.
because he wanted to run for Congress. He lied about that. He said that when he decided to retire, he did not know that he was going to Iraq. That is another untruth, as even his senior military officer said. So again, I'm not criticizing the service. I'm criticizing the dishonesty. Dishonesty spoken in favor and for the purpose of political benefit. And I think that the most important thing here, Dana, is...
Okay, so I'm going to stop that really quickly because this is a key point that he's about to do. CNN is clearly covering for Tim Walz. You even saw the chyron that said Vance attacks Walz record, and then the Harris campaign says he misspoke about his handling of guns, which, by the way, is the reason why he said he could take the guns from people in Minnesota, and he will do so in the United States, because he thinks that he was in war, so he can do it. That's the whole point. The underpinning of this entire push is a lie. That's the entire point, but CNN is on a mission to give him full cover for it, and JD Vance openly brings back CNN's own coverage and reporting the night before. It's amazing to see someone who can actually do this articulately, confidently, and not seem like an ass. And I'm going to say it a few times because perception is incredibly important. Even if you're spitting facts, people still have to like you. It's a very important piece. But now listen to where he's going to go, because now he said it speaks to dishonesty, right? Listen to this. This is what I need in my gun control versus gun rights fights. This is what I need right here.
Goes to Kamala Harris's judgment. Tim Walz is ultimately going to be the vice president. Kamala Harris is in great health. I'm sure she's going to be president if she wins for 4 or maybe even 8 years. Why did Kamala Harris choose a person who has lied about their military service? I think that is a serious lapse in judgment. And I don't want to hear from a campaign spokesperson of Kamala Harris. I want to hear Kamala Harris herself address what I just said.
You know, I've seen a lot of statements from veterans, including those who serve, with saying it's just untoward to be criticizing somebody who served 24 years.
Dana, I'm not interested in the ad hominem. I've heard from a lot of veterans groups who criticize Tim Walz. The question is, he said he served in war and he didn't. That is a dishonesty. I couldn't care less what one or the other person says about it. I care about what the truth is. The truth is that Tim Walz didn't tell the truth. And importantly, Dana, this is about Kamala Harris's judgment. And I think that when you ask, why has Kamala Harris allowed the border to be wide open? Why has Kamala Harris supported policies that have promoted the increase in inflation? I think it goes to the heart of her judgment, and I think that that's what we should be talking about.
One last question, Don.
Fantastic. In fact, so fantastic. Dana Bash is about to change the subject. Okay? Like, you're about to see the full-on cover of CNN, even more so than what you're watching, because she tries to pivot back to Trump. But the big important thing about this is, he just linked Tim Walz's horrible lying about stolen valor in order to take gun rights and other rights from people here in the United States to Kamala Harris. He completely diverted away from the, well, some veterans groups say this. He goes, I don't care. The fact is he lied. He lied about this. And Kamala Harris shows her distrust and, her lack of judgment directly to involving him and picking him as a VP, which is a correct correlation. And then ties it back to her weakest points of the border and her dishonesty. Guys, this is a masterclass in how to do this. Again, what's hanging in the balance here is gun rights versus gun control. And the more I see of this, the more I'm rather happy, because this right here is it's just masterful. Now, watch what she tries to do when she tries to twist it again back to Trump. Because she got nailed and owned, so she doesn't want to have that as the last thing. She tries to change the subject. Check this out.
Trump didn't serve in the military. He received a medical draft deferment for bone spurs to avoid serving in the Vietnam War, reportedly as a favor to his father. Do you find that shameful too?
I think that Donald Trump didn't serve in the military, but he didn't lie about it, Dana. I've known Donald Trump for a long time.
You don't think
really
he
honors our
so you think he had
honors
bone
me for
spurs?
my service. Donald Trump didn't lie about serving in the military. He didn't say that he went to Vietnam when he didn't. This is the problem. I don't criticize anybody, whether they served our country or not. I think it's honorable to serve, but obviously a lot of people have reasons for not serving. I criticize somebody for embellishing their record, for lying, saying, I went to war. Dana, do you think that it's a problem that he said, I went to war, but he didn't actually? That seems to be a problem to me.
Well, they've corrected that. Let's move on
They've
to
corrected it by admitting that.
let's move on to another important issue to voter.
Let's go ahead and let's move on. Anyway, so what do we want to talk about? You know, I think I'm just going to leave this up because that's a really good headline. You understand what's happening right here. She tried to turn it back to Trump. Again, JD Vance goes, yeah, Trump didn't serve in the military. He also didn't lie about serving in the military. But did he have bone spurs? Don't care. He didn't say he went to Vietnam when he didn't. That is perfect. Again, this is all stemming from this stolen valor accusation, which seems to be more and more uncomfortable for the Harris campaign, for them to say he misspoke, and then also for them to change their website and change his bio and do this and do that. They have gotten their first taste of loss on this, and JD Vance is not falling in the same pitfalls that they're expecting him to on CNN. That was an excellent interaction on the JD Vance side. He stuck to the points. He tied it back to Kamala Harris. Everything that he needed to do in order to push our gun rights forward, that's what we need to do on a day-to-day basis, because it's totally out there. It's completely available, and he literally just showed you the roadmap and how to do it. I hope other people are taking notice, and that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think, and I will see you on the next one.